Mike told y'all. Bad Mike told you time and time again.
Yo, what's going on, people? Your boy, Man Mike in here. Give you guys a little brief uh take on what's to come for the Atlanta Falcons on this day. Uh it's gonna be a pretty, you know what, I'm not even gonna try to lie to myself. uh this is probably one of them days that, look, we need to pray, y'all. Yeah, we look, don't even try to kid yourself. We need to be on our knees praying. Hmm. We definitely need to be on our knees praying, because good God Almighty. Like, let's not pretend ourselves. Let's not lie to ourselves. We need Jesus. We need Jesus Himself. Good God Almighty, we need Him. After what we saw last night from the Georgia Dogs, Georgia Tech almost tried to take us out. The Braves have been an absolute menace all year long with their crash. And oh, good God! Like, I had enough of football. I've had enough football. Georgia Tech, Georgia, the Braves, and now these damn Falcons. We need help, y'all, and we need help in the worst way. So, Raymond Elder was good, pimp. For Donnelly, Willie Price, Chris Satterfield. Hello, everybody. Getting morning. Um, so let's get into this first before we get into the keys, because obviously that's going to be interesting in its own right. Um, so I'm. This is why you guys should probably um you should probably become a member of the Mad Mike membership, because these are the things that I talk about. Y'all should really listen to it. And I talk about these things. I talk about these things about what I expect and the things that I'm hearing around the league. What's going on, Cardi? Cardi, what's going on? But the thing that I'm hearing and I've been hearing is that Zac Robinson's time in Atlanta is uh slowly coming to an end, and probably not in the way that a lot of people are expecting. Um, this has been something that's been on the radar since 24, and I think right now is probably the best time for him to maybe think about taking a job. So if you guys don't know, well, now you know. Ian Rappaport put out that quite a few people are expecting Zac Robinson to adhere or be on the short list of possible head coaching jobs. And this via Ian Rappaport. Um, the Atlanta Falcons offense coordinator. He's dealt with guys like Kirk Cousins, so he knows how to call certain plays. He knows how to, get an offense going for the most part. Um, but they're dealing with some things right now in this Atlanta Falcons offense that a lot of people probably saying. But to go back to what I was stating in regards to the Zac Robinson thing, that a lot of people I saw Dez White, former Dallas Cowboy wide receiver, Dez Bryant, Dez White. Dez Bryant, former Cowboys receiver, that he's calling for. He himself is calling for a possible job. That Zac Robinson becomes the he becomes the head guy at Oklahoma State. So we got to hear from Ian Rappaport, offensive coordinator, is one of the best quarterbacks that ever played for Mike Gundy, who was fired by Oklahoma State, and is expected to be on a very short list of Gundy's former head coaching jobs at Oklahoma State, sources say. So a lot of people are expecting Zac Robinson to be out in Atlanta. A lot of people are expecting him to be out, where he will be the head coach for Oklahoma State. Nothing is confirmed, but when you got Ian Rappaport and a lot of people are expecting this to be the case, that he could be gone. So you're probably saying to yourself, well, like, how is this good for the Atlanta Falcons? Well, it makes a lot of sense. Now it makes a lot of sense what's been going on. I honestly think that he could quite possibly be out in Atlanta. I think he takes the job at Oklahoma State and becomes the Oklahoma State head guy. Just being honest, I think this is what's going to happen. It's a lot of stuff that's going on right now, in the college game where you see a lot of these guys going. A lot of these guys going to end up becoming head coach, and I think Zac Robinson is probably one of those guys that I personally believe is going to be the head coach at Oklahoma State. Now, there is a I'm trying to find a way, just try to make anything good out of this, but to be real, I don't know if it's good or bad. I honestly don't know if it's good or bad in this particular instance, because you got Zac Robinson, the offense coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, and do we have a replacement for him? And I think that really is a big and a major concern for this Atlanta Falcons offense going forward. Um, and I think if you look at a lot of the moves that's been made, I'm just going to be honest about it. I think Raheem is not being 100%. I don't think the Atlanta Falcons organization, um, I don't think they're 100% sure that Zac Robinson is going to be here next year for the Atlanta Falcons. I think they are preparing to get a possible guy, someone that is on the staff right now, and I think it's TJ. I think TJ Yates is one of those guys that quite possibly could be the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons if like I said, if Zac Robinson end up leaving. Because right now, what the Atlanta Falcons are doing, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But me personally, I think he's out of here for a number of reasons, and not just because of this. But I think he has the job. He has the opportunity to become a head coach, and quite frankly, I don't think that Raheem or anybody would um try to hold him back from possibly becoming a head coach and Zac Robinson. Like I said, still quite young for the most part. And he has called plays in the NFL, but I think the way the NFL is lining up now, like I've the way things are going, like it'll make it a whole lot easier for him personally to go to the college game and succeed, because a lot of those concepts from college games, these guys are going to be able to you know, succeed in the college game. I believe that. But get to these keys to victory. All right, so the first one, and like I said, this right off the top of the dome. Never write anything down for the most part. I mean, Mike McDaniel still got a job, so I'm not jumping the gun on that. As far as Mike McDaniel is concerned, look, he has not been fired, to the best of my knowledge. So until he's fired, I'll start talking about it. But he's one of those guys that's on my radar. But yeah, I think he'll be perfect for what the Atlanta Falcons do. He knows how to design an offense with the left-handed quarterback and all. So, like I said, I think he's a perfect candidate for the possibility of the Atlanta Falcons bringing in an offensive coordinator, potential offensive coordinator. And not that I'm calling for Raheem's job. Yeah, I'm calling for Raheem's job, but I'm not calling for his job, if that makes sense. I do want to see the Falcons win, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's almost like go to hell, Raheem. We need to win, but I don't personally think the guy Raheem Morris knows what he's doing. I just don't know. I don't get the feeling that he knows what he's doing. I think Raheem is one of those guys that is just um grasping at straws, and like I said, I'm not a fan of him. Not gonna pretend like I am. I'm just not a fan of Raheem. I don't think he knows what he's doing as a coach. I think he just brings in a whole bunch of guys that he believes to be good coordinators and kind of do what they want. He allows them to, if their vision aligns, I think he hires these guys. I don't think he really wants good coaches on his staff. And like I said, just from what I've seen, I don't think that he wants good coaching. I think he wants guys that have that's the same vision or the same align. And I could be wrong about that. But we'll see about that Mike McDaniel stuff. But the first key for me personally, everything starts with the quarterback for me. And I think the NFL, people can go to hell as far as I'm concerned about this pistol and running backs being 8 yards behind the line. I'm like, yeah, to a certain extent that is. You do give defensive linemen time to kind of get started and recover. But it really just depends on how good your offensive lineman. I think the Falcons' offensive line is good enough to be able to withhold and withstand a lot of stuff. So like the first thing is the quarterback. Move him around. Move Michael Penix around. Can't allow this man just to keep doing the same things over and over again. Like Michael Penix is just standing in the pocket. Move him around. I think him just standing in the pocket and being a statue for the most part, I think is hindering the Atlanta Falcons offense. I think the offense can be a little bit more less predictable in regards to their motions. Like their motions are even predictable in my opinion. I don't think it has a lot to do with the formations because, like, for me, I'm just gonna be honest. Every formation is predictable when it comes down to it, and that's what the different style of plays being called at certain things, the different types of motions and certain things. You got to be less predictable in your motions, and I think those are the things that we're not seeing. Is that the motions, is the tight ends coming across the in motions? We know they're not going to touch the ball. We know 9 times out of 10 when they do these types of things, these guys, our tight ends, when they come in motion, they're going to block. So I think the Atlanta Falcons had to do a better job of hiding our tight ends and doing different things with our tight ends and not just Kyle Pitts. Because Kyle Pitts, he sits on the line, he blocks, he goes out. And for the most part, they got to figure out what Kyle Pitts is going to do. And he's done a wonderful job blocking. He's done a wonderful job receiving. I think he's done a great job, to be honest. And right now, if I were going to give anybody the best player that's not an offensive lineman, I think the best player for our team right there and most consistent player with this team has been Kyle Pitts. Bijan Robinson has dropped a lot of key passes. He's had some tough fumbles here and there. But I think Kyle Pitts has been the most consistent player on this offense thus far. And I tell you all the time, the pistol formation is not a problem. Okay, it's not. My thing is, all right. Let's play. Let's play. What formation do y'all want? Because everybody got a whole bunch. Everybody want to point the finger and blame at a formation, but nobody has an idea on what they should be doing. Bijan loves the pistol. Mike loves the pistol, and I guarantee you, if they love it, everybody else is going to deal with it. Like everybody got a say in what shouldn't be done, but nobody has an idea of what should be done. Tell me, guys, what the Falcons should be running in. Now, how is the under center split back is going? How is that going to be good for the Atlanta Falcons? You do know a split back, okay? A split back to tell like you need in order to run a split back, you have to have one thing, and what's that? You have to have one thing with an under center split back. Now throw them suggestions in there, y'all. Like throw the suggestions in there. We're gonna talk about this. Like this is what I mean. Everybody got ideas, but nobody know what it details. What the details are for those formations. Nope. See, you already wrong. Like you can't have an idea. You can't have an idea in what it is and don't know what that split back entails. The split back is called a split back. That means two backs in the backfield. One of those backs are typically doing what? Under center. A split back formation is either a strong guy, weak guy, or pro set. So come on, don't tell me I just know. You came up with the idea. We gonna look. We're going to school this morning. Before we get to the regulations, we're going to school. I like what is it? I want to hear. Oh man, I know. No, tell me. You got the idea. Come on, tell me what with a split back. What do you need with a split back? Come on, yo. Come on, people. Come on. Y'all some smart people in. Some of y'all don't play football. Come on, tell me what the split back. What do you need with the split back? Speed back and a heavy back. No, that's not right. You need one of them to be a fullback. Okay. You have to have one of them that has the skills of a fullback. Like, and the big problem is that who's going to be the fullback? Fullback abilities. So what you're telling me that you need two things to happen. If that was the case, you need Tyler out here to be the fullback, or you need a guy that's too damn big and too slow to be the eyes for Bijan Robinson. Nah. So you want guys to pretend like they fullback, but you don't have a guy on the team that actually have those abilities to be a fullback. Because that's what happens when you're running under center, the quarterback turns his back to the defense. So in order for that, you need guys to do what? To be able to block well, to pick up the blitzes and whatnot. So you need a guy who not only has the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, because if the guy doesn't have the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, then you're literally limiting your offense. And this is what the pistol formation does. Because if the quarterback runs any type of motion, he turns his back. If he runs that motion, bootleg, rollouts, if he do that, you need a guy that's going to be able to pick up those blitzes, because that's exactly what defense is going to do when you're under center. So I know a lot of people hate the pistol, but what happens with the pistol, the quarterback can see, and he doesn't necessarily turn his back to the defense, because one of the things that a lot of teams used to do, in particular, the Pittsburgh Steelers, is zone blitz. They would love when the quarterback run those motions. He turns his back. They can send a blindside blitz, and he end up getting hit from behind. So those are the things with those quote unquote split back formations, is that you have to have two backs that have the ability to block consistently. And if you don't have that, guess what you have to do? you got to put your big tight end, your big slow tight ends in the backfield, and there are absolutely no threat running the ball. See, this is why guys like Patrick DeMarco, Ove Muhaley, they were so good. It's because they had the ability to run the ball as well as catch the ball out of the backfield and block. But the Atlanta Falcons don't have that. They have Charlie Warner, not a fast guy. So again, I know a lot of people want certain formations, but you got to go with the personnel, and the Falcons don't have that. And if we're going to run that, do you guys think that Tyler Algier is a consistent pass blocker? Because that's what you're doing. You're taking Tyler Algier out of the mindset of being a running back and turning him into a fullback. So these are the problems with a lot of these two back sets that a lot of people want to run. You got to have the ability, and guys like Kyle Shanahan has those guys on their roster where they've played fullback. The Falcons don't have that on that roster, and that's the problem. The Falcons don't have that back that has played fullback position and the running back position, because the fullback is essentially the eyes for the running back when he's in there. So now you're asking Tyler Algier to do things that he's not accustomed to doing. So what did that mean? You got to take him back to training camp and learn the fullback position in the middle of the season. Or you got to ask a guy like Charlie Warner to do something that he's not comfortable with, first and foremost, and being a fullback instead of being a tight end. Just saying, y'all. So the fullback is a whole lot better than what you may think it is. It's a whole lot more versatile than you may think it is. The problem is it's the execution. When you don't execute, this is what happens. You get bad protection, and you don't, at the end of the day, some guys need to get open, guys need to catch the ball. So a lot of times it's not the formations. Like, I don't think the depth of the running back is that big of a, like, I don't think the depth of the running back is as big of an issue that people are making. Like, you need to be, you have to have those split backs like a Mike All starting work done. Like, you got to have big backs that have the ability to play fullback, running back, and who has played it already. We don't have that. So we're already limited in the formations that we can use. And this is why guys like K Styles be calling for the resurgence of the fullback position, the H back. Do we promote TJ Yates to offensive coordinator Zach? Yeah, I believe so. He'll be one of the first in line if Zach leaves for a head coaching job at Oklahoma State. But he will be one of the first guys there in line. I personally believe it. But we don't know who's going to be available towards the end of the season. We'll like I said, we'll see. But like I said, the first key to victory is just getting the quarterback into a rhythm. Got to get Mike Penix into a rhythm. Got to throw the ball in the middle of the field. Got to use our screen game a whole lot more than what we've done. Got to push the ball downfield. We're not pushing the ball downfield, and we got to get. The second one is getting Donnell Mooney. Got to get him into a damn rhythm. Like he needs to step up. He and Drake need to step up. I'm not. I don't. Look. I don't give a damn about him being back of first game. He needs to get going. Period. Point blank. Both those guys, but Darnell Mooney needs to he needs to exert himself as the the veteran of this wide receiving core because Drake ain't for whatever reason Drake ain't it. Drake ain't playing like it right now. Very disappointed in his game. Can't get open, can't catch passes, turn the ball over, just look disinterested. And we'll see how Drake end up, how the route concepts change, if they change in this game. Those are things I'm gonna be focused on. But I need to see Darnell Mooney step up big time. Because right now this wide receiver core needs him. He's supposed to be the elder statesman for the most part. And the third one, I think probably one of the most important things is that defensively, they have to tackle well. I think we've done a pretty good job of holding the edge. Like we rotate our edge guys, and they pretty well, in the run game. So I think continuing that focus on stopping the run because I know Marcus Mariota is going to use his legs at some point in time in his first quarter, opening up definitely in the latter stages of the games. He's definitely going to do that. So the Falcons got to our edge guys have to be disciplined. So they have to be disciplined. But like I said, I know a lot of people probably saying themselves too, like, well, I'm tired of this formation, tired of that formation. Just got to do a better job of when the play come to you, you got to make a play. When the ball come to you, you got to make a play. The Falcons have dropped a lot of passes in key situations, including Darnell Mooney, Drake, Bijan, Tyler Allgeier. Like the middle of the field is wide open. And I think if the Atlanta Falcons are going to do anything, if you're going to pass the ball short into the outside, like at least let Matt, good God Almighty, but at least let Mike Ryan run the ball up the middle. At least let Mike Ryan run the ball up the middle. And I mean what I said too, Mike Ryan, because he has the ability to be both of those guys in the same game. Stay in the pocket, and he can move and run for a couple of first downs here and there. Because it's wide open for him. When teams understand that your quarterback is not going to move out of a spot, they just going to tee off at you. So the Falcons have to do a better job of making the defense think twice about sending guys at Penix, and he's going to run. They know for a fact right now that Zac Robinson and Raheem Morris is not going to allow Mike Ryan to move in the pocket. So having to say we need to attack in the middle of the field, opponents, defense. The game against Carolina middle was wide open. I mean, it's been wide open all year. For whatever reason, like they're running a lot of concepts to the boundaries, like to the sidelines. Like they're running a lot of concepts to the sidelines, and I just don't get it. Like a couple of plays again. I understand that like you like what you like, but if these things are wide open, These guys got to get it. They got to get the ball. They got to get it. Period. Point blank. Now, a lot of those plays last week, he did miss some, and Mike is missing some players here and there. But we got to make a conservative effort offensively to get the ball in the middle of the field, and I don't think we've done a good job of that. AJ Terrell is out. He should be back once we get past the the bye week. They're expecting him to be back during the bye week. No, that's not Zac Robinson's. Like if Zac Robinson got to call plays for you to get open consistently, then you got a problem with your wide receivers. Like Kyle Pitts is not having an issue with getting separation, but somehow all our wide receivers can't get open. And then they're running the same routes. They're running the wrong routes. You got guys that don't know what they're doing. Like that's not like maybe it is a play calling issue at certain times, but if your wide receivers can't consistently get separation, that's a wide receiver problem, not a coach problem. These guys got to find a way to get open. And I think too, they're running long developing because the Falcons are assuming that they can get the pressure, they can protect the quarterback consistently. They've done a decent job at it. They've done a pretty good job at it, but you can't assume with those that you're like running these long developing routes and guys gonna get open quickly. I think the mindset of running quick plays and long developing plays is a problem. But I've seen this a lot. Like I don't think these wide receivers have a damn clue. Like I think the problem is these guys want to run what they want to run. Like Raheem can say whatever he wants, Zach can say what he wants, but these guys clearly want to run what they want to run. And they're not making the necessary adjustments during the game. And it's frustrating, Michael Penix. It's frustrating wide receiver because like this is one of the reasons why you keep saying, "Oh, he's back on the field." Like if that was the case, why even take him off the field? If that's the case, like the only way that they can get me to believe that this offense is going to work, the only way he's going to get me to feel like this offense's work is play consistently. The Falcons scoring 40 points in this game is not going to deter me. It's not going to change my mind on these guys. Like I said, the Falcons defense should be able to stop these guys. I think they should be able to stop these guys for the most part. They have to tackle well because obviously we know Washington can run the ball well. They run a lot of new concepts to get their athletes the ball. So the Falcons be able to get that. You playing against a quarterback that has the ability to run, and Marcus Mariota, no Jaden Daniels today. Um, so they should be able to play well against this team. Just to be honest, if they consistently put pressure on Marcus Mariota, they'll be fine. But if they allow him to run around and get first downs and check the ball down, they have to consistently put pressure on him. And if he can't put pressure on Marcus Mariota, I definitely have no. Like I said, it's gonna be a long season if they can't beat Washington. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not expecting 5 to 7 sacks. I'm expecting about 3, to be honest. Um, that's the number that I'm holding to. I think 5 to 7 is way over the top. Although the Falcons have had games where they look, but that they did not look great last week, and that's problematic for me. So they have to step, like I said, they have to stop the run today. Like I said, I don't think that they'll consistently get after the quarterback. Like it's just a part of me just hopes that they be able to, but I think they're gonna run the ball a lot. And like I said, hopefully I'm wrong. The Falcons come in, stop and run, and that's defensively. That's what I'm going to be focused on, and hopefully they play better. But yeah, they just got to stop the run in order to win. Like they start the run in this game, I think this game would be pretty. Because like I said, you don't have your quarterback, you don't have your number one wide receiver. There's no reason why they should not, win this game. Like I said, the magic number for me, as far as sacks is concerned, is 3. Yeah, that is true, Sterling. But just catch the damn ball. Our wide receivers are not catching the ball. Like these guys, like when like you're gonna always have miscommunications as far as young quarterbacks concerned. So that's not a huge deal for me personally. But I think again with a young quarterback, you're going to have that. Like that's inevitable. But these receivers got to catch the ball. Running backs got to catch the ball. There's a lot of dead downs for the Falcons of drop because of drop passes. A lot of. And when you catch the ball, you got to hold on to the ball, not fumble the ball. So again, a lot of dead downs for the Falcons with drop passes for our wide receivers. It's not helping Penix at all. So when he does get you the ball, catch the damn ball. I don't want to hear the ball, the spin is different because he's left. Look, catch the damn ball. Just catch the damn ball. So, like I said, for me, I am not. I don't believe in this Atlanta Falcons team. Don't believe in them. They have not shown me anything offensively to believe them. Nothing that they can get it done. It's all about consistency. Now I think they have the talent. I think we all know they have the talent, but they haven't given me anything to believe in offensively because they don't want to hand the ball off and get a ball to Tyler Algier and Bijan. They don't want to do that. Drake London is acting like a bitch right now. He can't catch anything, fumbling, dropping passes, miscommunications. You just now getting Mooney back, and he's not 100%. I don't know where his head is. Ray McLeod is just hopeless. Okay, He's just a fucking goof, falling on the field wide open. Like, he's just a damn goof. You got David Steels up here playing precious time. Casey Washington is a fucking human crash test dummy because every time I turn around, I got a damn concussion. Like, offensively, the Falcons are giving me nothing to hope in and to believe in. And if you believe in this Falcons offense right now, you're an idiot. That's everybody's fault. Everybody. Like, it's everybody's fault. It's everybody. And I'm talking about from Bijan to Tyler all year dropping passes in the flat. Michael Penix missing guys open. Drake London dropping passes. Mooney dropping passes. Ray McLeod falling and goofing all on the floor. Like, this Atlanta Falcons offense hasn't given me anything to believe in anything to hope in. From the head coach to the offensive coordinator to the wide receiver, running back. The only thing I can possibly believe in is the offensive line. They've been the most consistent unit of this entire offense. Everybody else has been absolutely a nightmare, including Bijan Robinson. He's had a good game. He has some good moments in games, some big plays in games, but he hasn't been consistent. He'll tell you that. If that takes the job at Oklahoma and immediately starts running the spread, that he was used to while he was there, we'll know who's responsible for this offense. Well, look, I'm going to just be honest. I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to be patient. Yeah. Punt returners running to each other. It's like I said, it's just been a nightmare. Like I said, we can sit up here and try to play all this. Oh, I'm a Falcons fan forever, and I believe in. No, you don't. No, you don't. This team hasn't given you a damn thing to believe in. You hope because that's your team, but actually believe in it, nah. No, absolutely, absolutely. This is a must win for Raheem and the fans. The media have already calling out his bullshit. He and Zac Robinson. So this is a must win for him. Are these guys at home? Yeah, must win. Let's not pretend because this is a must win. So I'm a come to an end, man. We got about 4 minutes into the regulators. So I head over to Atlanta Falcon Nation. Atlanta Falcon Nation, the part 2 of the morning show. I may make this consistent as far as the morning show is concerned. We'll see about it. But head over to Atlanta Falcon Nation, get the pregame show with your host, Big Magnus over there. Like I said, I just need consistency. I need consistency out of all our players. And I'm talking about everybody on that offensive side of the ball. I've seen enough to believe that the defense can kind of keep us in the game, but offensively, I've seen nothing. From the coaching to the players, I've seen nothing to believe in. And I mean nothing. And that's bad. And that right there is the bottom line because Mad Mike said so. And you go to hell, dealer. You go to hell. All right. Head over to Atlanta Falcon Nation, part 2, morning show. And that right there is the bottom line because Mad Mike says so. I'm out of here, man.
Put your eyes back in your head. Popped out like flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.